BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, we show you how to empower yourself to find financial freedom through crypto assets. That sounds good. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I almost went old intro.
Yeah, I could feel you, recorrect there.
Yeah, you did. I still think we're going to change it to some. Should we just change it back
to
what it was before? People like that one. I don't know, but I like the hardest working channel in crypto too. That was our older one.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite ones. Hardest working channel in crypto, which is always true.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the channel of the people. I like that.
There you go.
You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, are we live?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we were having a marketing conversation.
Yeah, we're live.
Guys, Bitcoin is pumping.
Let's go.
Let's go. Olympics today. Very excited for opening ceremonies that happened this morning. Interesting stuff going on. We're going to have a very special guest on a little bit later, an Olympian himself. He'll be coming on to talk about what he's doing. Very similar with NFTs to what you saw Aaron Murray do when it comes to, finding a way to use NFTs to create income for people who need it that are in the athletic world. So in college football, obviously the players with a new NIL agreement can now earn income. And with Olympic athletes, not making money is one of the biggest things that causes people to actually drop out from becoming Olympians. It's not a super well paid career. So this is a cool way to help out those athletes. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So special guest in the house today. We are going to bring Frankie Candles on here in a bit, as Bitcoin is absolutely pumping, absolutely phenomenal. Real excited to see Bitcoin over $40,000 right now. You know what I forgot to put up here, TJ, was the Shiba story. So we'll do that in Crypto Watch. I need to pull it up though real quick. I know I have it. Shiba's doing stuff. Can you believe it? Are you excited about that?
No.
No, you hate Shiba.
I don't hate Shiba. You don't want to put words in my mouth. It doesn't get me excited. I know a lot of people that got wrecked on it. They were very disappointed. They bought the top. And if there's hype coming again, I'm not surprised that they're putting together another hype train. I I hope it works out for people to make money, but I'm disappointed when people get wrecked, obviously.
We'll do that when we get to Crypto Watch. Solana story I wanted to talk about as well. So I guess let's go ahead, guys, and let's jump into it here. Want to show you guys before we get started in Crypto Watch here. Don't forget we have our meetup coming up. I think she said we had almost 300 people in 48 hours sign up.
Wow.
So Crypto Stash will also be there. Didn't put him on the graphic because I talked to him a little bit later on, but Crypto Stash going to be there as well. So really exciting time. It's in Santa Monica next Thursday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I had an insane, I don't call it an epiphany yesterday because Allison told me. We were talking about the Super Bowl. My wife and I are going next week to the Super Bowl. Very excited to be able to do things like that. Going out there and, we're going to have a car pick us up after the game because we had such a nightmare at the Orange Bowl. We were stuck waiting for an Uber for 2 hours. So we're going to have a car, already booked ahead. And Allison said, what time do you want to go? I said, well, I don't know, probably like 4 o'clock maybe. And she said, you want to go after the game starts? And I realized on the West Coast, it's a day game. The Super Bowl is at 3:15 on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Well, get this. I used to have to, when I was watching the Falcons out there, 10 a.m. for a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah. Oh,
and so
you live there.
It was very strange. It was like you're having breakfast or brunch and watching a game instead of, it's definitely an adjustment.
Yeah. It's like after the game, you still have a whole night. Yeah. It's so crazy. Like just blew my mind. I don't know why that blew my mind, but it did. It's always been a night game, here in Georgia. So, okay. So we got that going on. Don't forget to follow me, Dad Jokes for the Win. This is my personal account, do non-crypto stuff. I went this morning to post a picture of my living room because me and my wife, she's crazy about the Olympics. We did this really cool setup. We blew up all these balloons, yada, yada, yada. And I looked at my picture and I was like, I don't know if this is a great picture. And then I went to her Instagram, which is Bethany Reads a Lot. And her picture's phenomenal. It looks like something that a photographer did Mine looks like something that, I don't know, like a 4-year-old kid might take a picture of something accidentally if he's holding a phone. So, but you guys can follow my wife also over there. She got a really cool bag from Delta for being an Olympic super fan.
Look at that.
She loves the Olympics. I don't know if she'd leave me for them, but you know, she definitely loves
What about C.S. Lewis though?
and Harry Potter.
Oh, here.
Yeah. Luckily, one's dead and one's not real, and definitely not threatened by the guy that plays Harry Potter.
There you go.
No offense to that guy. Sure, he's got more money than I do, but that's about it. Less pounds, that too for sure. Okay, so let's look. Here we go. We've got 1.894 trillion, a 7.3% increase over the last 24 hours. We are almost back to 1.9. 85 billion in volume. Very interesting. Not a super high tick up in volume. Bitcoin dominance about the same as it was yesterday, maybe up a tick or two. ETH dominance up. So ETH dominance is up. You know, Ethereum is some stuff we got to have some conversations with pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cost you 66 Paraguays to send an ETH transaction. Bitcoin right now, is this the latest number? Did it go back down again? No, no, those are wrong numbers, guys. Those are outdated numbers. 1.932 trillion, 8.3% gain, and $92.5 billion in volume. And all the numbers are basically the same. Bitcoin coming at $40,355. Ethereum at almost 3,000 again. How phenomenal. Now, I will tell you guys, me and TJ were talking before the stream here. And, you know, at $40,000, we're practicing what we preach. We took some profits. Now, do I believe that prices are going to go up from here? I do think so. It pains us to take some profits. I mean, we took like a couple percent, maybe something like that.
I think it was we sold about 100 ETH, so 300K. We took profits at ETH was right at 3,000, which 40,000 for Bitcoin, 3,000 for Ethereum. Pretty significant psychological numbers and technical numbers for resistance. So take a little profit, but still like you said, that's less. Yeah, that's a couple percent of our Ethereum holdings.
Yeah, a couple percent. Not a huge amount, but it still pained me to do it.
Yeah,
like it's painful for me to sell crypto.
Me too. I hate it. It never feels good because you always want to keep building that crypto stack, and you only want to transfer into fiat when you need to.
Yeah.
So
well, it's just like I want that ETH.
That's right.
You know, but look, when this is what's so difficult is as long as I've been doing this, and as many of these market fluctuations as I've seen, even though I know that taking profits is always a good thing, it never feels good because you're taking them out at a time when you feel like it can keep going up. And that's where we're at right now. We feel like it can keep going up, and it's painful to look in the future like if it went up, you know, straight to $1 zillion. But you know what? When the market dumps, that's when you always wish that it would have that you would have done it, that you would have taken more profits. That's one of the biggest lessons we all learned. And I want to talk here in just a second when we get to Bitcoin pumping. I'm going to talk about you know, something I'm thinking about, market strategy. And you know, I think it's kind of a change from what we've talked about before, and I think it's significant. And I think that the market is telling us something, and we should be listening. So, okay, let's go look at this. Binance Coin, 390, Cardano, $1.11, Solana, 110, XRP, 64 cents. Let's look at the biggest gainers of the day. Leo token, I would stay away from that one. Bitfinex, anything Bitfinex related, I'd say stay away from. Juno, don't know anything about this. What do Juno, TJ?
Nothing. I
knew nothing. I just want to make a joke.
Yeah, I saw it on CoinGecko also. Convex Finance, another one. Some of these on CoinGecko, SafeMoon, you know.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't hear about them talked about on, you know, other major places.
That's right. B-Boy Ajax says, strategy never sell. I mean, that's a fine, you know, look, it's a fine strategy. I don't think it's the worst strategy. But also, you know, we run a business here. And so we got to think, like, if we did go into a multi-year bear market, then, you know, how do you run the business when things are dropping all the time and the volatility? So, you know, people have different reasons for the different strategies that they use, and that's fine. I mean, we still will never sell the vast majority.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. So real quick, Solana, you guys know, had a big hack on the wormhole or on their wormhole bridge. Jump Crypto replenished the fund's $320 million wormhole hack in the largest ever DeFi bailout. That term has blown my mind today.
Yeah.
A DeFi bailout. I mean, kind of the whole point of Bitcoin in the beginning was because we didn't want to keep bailing people out. That's what Satoshi, why he got behind it and why he founded it, is because he was tired of the government telling us one thing and doing another, saying, hey, you know what? Like, you have to be responsible for yourselves if you get in trouble, but the banks, we're going to reward them with money for doing all the wrong things. And that's our money. That's our money that they did the wrong things with. And it's our money from taxes. We gave them right back. It was like a crazy circle where, once again, American people always getting screwed. Thank you, Jimmy Void. Sit down, talking truth. He says, I'm looking lean. I've lost about 27 pounds now.
Hey, that's my lucky number.
That's right. What are they going to make fun of me about when they can't make fun of my weight? I don't know. It's a question to think about. Maybe we'd put a poll. Let's not put a poll.
I can give you some options.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. So also, let's talk about Shiba real quick. They now are saying they're going to release additional projects that will burn SHIB. I told you guys before, the only way that Shiba is ever going to get to $1 or a penny or any kind of crazy amount is to burn almost the whole supply, because the tokenomics would never make sense now. It would cost more money than is in the world in cash to be able to, or in dollars or, fiat, to be able to get it to a market cap where it could get $1. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But the thing is that, they got to do something to keep people interested, because we said, look, yesterday we were talking about Dogecoin. It already popped its cherry. Like, it's probably not going to hit a new all-time high, even if things go back to all-time highs. It may, but I don't think it's going to, because it cycled in and cycled out. Now we're looking at Shiba, and they're not going to face the same, future that Dogecoin did. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do it or not, but, it says, according to a recent tweet by Shibern, more projects burning Shiba Inu tokens are going to be released soon. It says, stay tuned for more projects. That's the thing where they say the same sentence twice. Here's the tweet. Stay tuned for outside the box stuff they're going to be doing with SHIB. What about all of the, let's see here. Is there any more information about the projects? Because I think the only place Shiba can really go that I think would be a beneficial thing would be if they do build their own, active DEX, if they have their own, DeFi staking. I think that's the only way Shiba's going to ever really get above where they're at right now. So maybe not in price, but just in terms of acceptance and legitimacy in crypto. So there you go. There's your big Shiba news. I want to talk about the price of Bitcoin, guys. The price of Bitcoin right now is coming in at 40,300. We've got 7,000 viewers, which is, more than 6 times less than the price of Bitcoin right now. Let's go get that number up, guys. People are excited. Price of Bitcoin's pumping. Let's make sure to hit that like button. That's what signals YouTube that you like this content and that more people should watch it. Helps more people to find out about crypto. You guys hit that like button. So do us a favor. Stop what you're doing. Hit the like button. If you're on mobile, hit X on the live chat. Hit the like button. Then you can come back to the live chat. If you are on smart TV, bottom left-hand corner screen, more actions, more options. And then all you got to do is hit react and like the video. I mean, Bitcoin's pumping. We should be able to get 5,000 or 6,000 likes today.
I was going to say, everybody's happy when Bitcoin's pumping,
Yeah,
right?
I know, right? I think people don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize that they're not paying as much attention right now.
Smash the likes so people know, guys. Come on.
Absolutely. So Bitcoin surges towards 39K as stocks volatility keeps Wall Street on edge. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Amazon having a big pump a little bit later when we talk about our dark overlord, Jeffrey Bezos. But what I want to say about this is that this kind of almost came out of nowhere. And when you look at what's going on with the Olympics today, we'll talk a little bit more about this later, the launch of the digital yuan, right? I don't know. It seems to me that like maybe China wouldn't want Bitcoin to be doing well, when they're doing their big rollout over there. So, I don't know if we do get some kind of big manipulation to the downside. I would be looking over there at their Bitcoin holdings for that possibly to happen. But what I really wanted to talk about today. So this morning, I got a notification on YouTube from Data Dash. 70% of you guys came over the last year. You may not know who Nicholas Merton is. You may not know who Data Dash is. During the 2017-2018 bull run, Data Dash was the #1 crypto channel, the first channel to get over 100,000 subscribers, 200,000 subscribers. He hit 300,000 in the bear market. And I remember watching his videos back in the day. You know, I was like a fan, you know, like I was a person watching YouTube videos like everybody's watching now. And, you know, you fast forward several years later and I know him, you know, pretty well. We'll talk about some things that we've done together, but still all these years later, he doesn't make as many videos as he was making back then. He is such a calming voice in this market.
He is.
And I will tell you this. I love a lot of other YouTubers. There's a few I don't like, but you know, different reasons, usually not because of their content, maybe because they attack me. But the point is, Data Dash, in my opinion, is the most valuable channel to watch. Because he's only giving you stuff every few days, a little bit more recently. But what he says about the market and his experience of being in the market during the last pump and on YouTube, it's given him like a such a good perspective to where like a lot of us were kind of chained in thinking, you know, in terms of cycles, and he doesn't think that way. And I think that it's very fascinating to hear what he thinks. He said, you know, this video today is when I watched. I always watch his videos, or either I mean to watch them. You know, I don't always have time. But he said Bitcoin only did this twice during the bull market. And basically what he does is he brings up several different indicators. Now, one of these indicators is the Puell multiple. We were using this back in the heat of the bull run. We were talking about the orange. When it got to the red, you would know that was probably time to exit the market. Well, you see there, we didn't get it. You could make an argument. Maybe the you know, bottom area is lowered because this is kind of a downtrend, you know, a bearish divergence, if you will, in a way here when it comes to the actual Puell multiple chart. Like maybe it doesn't, we've seen it maybe with the Nupal, but just so you guys know what this is, Puell multiple is calculated by dividing the daily issuance of value, value of Bitcoins with an S, by the 365-day moving average of daily issuance value. It's created by David Puell. Now, he also, I think, was part of either the NVT or I think the NVT is the other one that he did as well. Very smart data analyst guy. I want to get a data scientist that does this kind of stuff. I know we got Decker. He does different stuff, but this would be a good person to add to the team. Somebody that, you know, I don't know, could create their own indicator.
Yeah.
And he basically explained that when you look at this, everything in this chart here shows you that we shouldn't have topped out yet. He showed 3 charts, and all of them show the same thing. We've been talking so much about this in the last few days, about the fundamentals, the on-chain fundamentals of Bitcoin. Not only have they not changed, they are still extremely bullish. It's almost like we've got a bullish divergence with all of the on-chain fundamentals, right? Like things should be going up, but the price is going down, and that could signal either one of two things. Things are totally different now. On-chain has no connection at all. Everything that worked in the past doesn't work anymore, or that means we could still be seeing an explosive time for Bitcoin before the next Bitcoin cycle. And it really got me thinking about the market cycles. And, you know, I do want to mention before I have that kind of big conversation with you guys, and then we're going to bring Frank on, Data Dash, you guys should subscribe to his channel, but make sure to check out Digifox. This is his company. We basically, you know, have a relationship, a partnership with him on this. You know, when it comes to the channel, we think this is going to be absolutely huge. So what is it? This is get paid in crypto. So for the first time in history, Digifox allows nearly 1 billion people to earn a portion of all of their salary in crypto. With Digifox, you can choose your allocation, set up your wallet of choice, and start getting paid in crypto. You can use that QR code. Check it out right now. I'm telling you guys, this is going to win. This is going to be a massive app.
And you hear us talk about it all the time, how DCA is one of the best ways to win long-term in crypto. This is an easy way to put a little bit of money out of each paycheck into Bitcoin, basically. And it's one of the cheapest ways, too. If you're buying on Coinbase, the fees are dramatically higher on Coinbase than they are on something like Digifox. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And also make sure to check it out on Twitter at @digifOx_finance. Let's see. That is now Nicholas Merton, Data Dash. So fortunate to be able to get in touch with him and talk to him. He's actually created content, entire trading course, correctly, within our BitLab Academy. So if you want to find out more from Nick, you guys can go to bitlabacademy.com and sign up, and you guys can find his trading course. I know, dude, is this sponsored technically? Did we get paid for this?
No.
So right, he did the course for us, and then we
basically we just traded. He
I want to be clear about what this relationship is.
Yeah, no, he's just a friend of ours.
We're always transparent, regardless of what people say.
Yeah. And the course he created, obviously, if you guys are familiar with his channel, what he likes to look at, he looks a lot of technicals on TradingView, but not necessarily day trade, very long-term macro trading analysis. So that's what the course is how to use TradingView and how to analyze Bitcoin markets on a macro basis. And then we've got more day trading stuff coming as well. It's a great course. I would recommend everybody check it out.
Well, here's the thing. I bring all this up because I didn't actually plan on talking about all this today until I saw that video this morning. And obviously, when I saw that video, it got me thinking about the markets. And it was a good time for us to mention all this to you guys. But here's what I think we need. I've been trying to figure out a plan. I've been trying to figure out a plan for months now. I never dreamed we would get to this spot where it didn't happen like we thought it would happen last year. Like, I never thought that. So I've really been trying to figure out, what do we think? Are we bearish or are we bullish? Do we have another part of this cycle? Are we still in a cycle? Is this another cycle? Is it a mini bear market? What is it? Where are we at? I think I have the answer to all those questions today. I think the answer to that question from this point forward is, I think we have to stop talking about this in terms of cycles. And that really is crazy because that's what we kind of built this channel on. Yesterday, when I was talking about the cycles, and I was thinking, and I can't remember if it was on Around the Blockchain or on the show, it hit me, you really can only talk about cycles in one of two ways. You can talk about them with historical perspective, and you can talk about what happened, or you could use that to talk about where we're going. But really, the only thing we have to base what today is what's going on today in the market, what's going on this week, this month in the market, and where all the on-chain analytics and all the on-chain fundamentals are. So from this point forward, when we are talking about where we are at in this market cycle, and when we are judging kind of where we think we're going, we're going to stop using that other stuff. We're going to stop talking about that because it's not important whether Bitcoin goes to X dollar amount. It's not important whether or not it does it by this month or this date. That doesn't matter for the here and the now, okay? What does matter is what we think the next move is. Is it going up or is it going down? Are we going sideways? What is the next move? Not what is, what's the ultimate top. And when you really take that perspective, this is why we took profits today. This is why we took profits today. It's not because we think the price is going to go up much further or down much further in the future. It's up from $33,000 at $40,000. It makes sense to take profits. When you put that end goal in sight of this date, this time frame, this price, it clouds your judgment. I think that was some mistakes that we made, what I thought to be for good reason in the run up. So from this point forward, this is the way that we're going to talk about these types of things. It's not important whether we're in a bull market or a bear market. It's not important. What's important is what's the next thing? What's happening next? And if you get a series of those actions together, then hey, we can kind of say, okay, obviously we're on a giant uptrend. Right now, we're right at the crux of a downtrend and an uptrend. Okay, unless Bitcoin goes below 29.5, we're still in a long-term uptrend. If it goes below, that would be confirmation that we're on a downtrend. That's really what's important. So, Frank, you want to come on up, show some charts?
Yeah.
You're bringing your mouse. Is that correct?
It's up there.
Okay, let me pull that out there. There you go. Okay. Go ahead.
Ooh, baby, we are pumping today. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Can you guys hear this?
Yes, we can.
Look at that. We are pumping.
I love it.
Just having a little fun here. But we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, what is going on, where we are seeing a little bit of resistance. And then we're going to talk about how you guys, too, could have seen this coming. And then real quick, last, I am currently in a trade, so I'll update you guys on that as well. But let's hop in here and at the chart. All right. There we are. All right, so
just expand the chart. There you go.
Thank you, BitBoy. All right, guys. So we are here on the daily chart. We finally did it. The other day, we came up and we kissed this long-term downtrend that we hate so much. And we finally broke out of it. Wasn't sure. I mean, it felt like we were never going to get out of this downtrend. But let's zoom in here a little bit. Let's go to the 4-hour. Look at that. Finally. Every single time we've come up to this line, it's just been kiss of death, straight down. And then last time I was on the show, we were looking at this ascending channel, and we were hoping to maybe break out then, but instead we chose to come down and test this level right here at about 36.5, right before finally breaking out. Oh, baby, does that feel good? So we are seeing a little bit of resistance at about 41K. Let's see right here. Just almost. But we were calling these key levels of resistance. Last time I was on the show, I was bringing these levels up, letting you guys know where I was seeing strong support or the next level of resistance if we broke out. So we did take a little bit of a stop at about this level right here, which was about, is that 40? Yeah. Oh, wow. So that's okay. Yeah. So we broke through the 40. Now we're testing the 41. So those levels did definitely good that we're breaking through those levels. Yes.
So, a lot of people have been talking about 39.6 was a really important number. It's really interesting, isn't it? As soon as we got past 39.6, it broke up and went all the way to 41. I mean, what does that say kind of about getting above those, resistance levels?
Yeah. So when you see those strong resistance levels, it is definitely a very bullish thing. When you just break out and start coming up real strong, that is definitely a bullish sign. But I did want to talk really quick. Last show, Ben was talking about a 4-hour 15, finding confluence between the long time frames and the shorter time frames. He was talking specifically about the 4-hour and the 15-minute. In this specific strategy, you look for a 4-hour VWAP crossover, which is this yellow wave on market Cipher B. And then you go down to the 15-minute or lower time frame, and you look for this red and green money flow to be coming up from the red into the green. So if you guys did know this, we could have spotted this. You see this vertical yellow line right here is marking the 4-hour VWAP crossing up. And then if you come down to the 15-minute and we find, get rid of my brush tool here. If you come down over here and find the line, look at that. You have a money flow crossover from the red into the green. And that is usually very bullish. And as you can see, if you took that trade, let's say you got in here, you would have gotten 8%. Throw 10x leverage on there. That's about 8.9% would be about 90%. So that is it's funny that we were talking about that the other day, and this is how we could have spotted this large movement upwards. And then just real quick, I want to touch on some altcoins that are looking very good.
I just had one question before you move on real quick.
Sure.
Is there any specific numbers you're looking to get into or short, or are you just watching and waiting right now?
Right now I'm watching and waiting. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's go down to a lower time frame here. So 40, yeah, so 41 is, I don't know. Okay, yeah. So we came up, we had that 39.5 level we were talking about on the last show. We did get a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a rejection there, powered right through it and smashed through 40K. Now the next stop is 41. Those numbers were a little different on the higher time frame.
It kind of looks like, looking at the chart, it kind of looks similar now to where it was when it did bump
Right
up
here.
against that and break out.
Yes,
So, it's
yes.
behaving pretty similarly, meaning maybe it wants to break out higher again.
Yes. And actually, I did just put a new video out on my YouTube channel about finding key levels and how, when price reaches a resistance level like this, how you can try to predict whether it will break up or break down. There's things that you can look for. So definitely check that out on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. But real quick, Atom is looking very, very strong. If you guys watch the show, I do love to trade Atom. It doesn't care if Bitcoin's going up or down. Sometimes it likes to do its own thing, but I believe there was the same thing on Atom here with a 4-hour. Right here you have the 4-hour VWAP crossing over the 0 line, and then you come down to the 15-minute, and then you have that red money flow crossing over into the green. And look at that move from this vertical line all the way up there. Would have been a massive move. And real quick, let's see what that would have been. 20%. You put 10x leverage on that. Would have been a very, very, very nice move with some sweet profits. Before I leave you guys, I do just want to talk about the trade that I am in right now, which is a Polkadot trade. I already took profits, so that's always good. Stop loss has been moved into profit, so it's all house money right now. It's a winning trade, whether I get stopped out or not. So I took out profits, and the current money that I have riding in it right now is up 141%. So that is great. If you guys want to learn how to trade, whether the markets are going up or down, please follow me on Twitter, Frankie_Candles, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Frankie Candles YouTube channel, and learn with us.
There you go.
Thanks, Ray.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. Good job.
See you guys later.
Ooh, some more NFTs.
Somebody said, whose cousin is this? Pretty funny. Okay, so that was really good. I think, there is a decent chance it goes up higher from here. Looking at the chart. Well, let's see what happens. Somebody said, if it goes through 42, that it'll go to 50K pretty quick. Well, I don't know if that's true or not. Long and the short of it is, a lot of people are expecting sideways action for a while, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure. But, my projection has been, I think we're going to grind. So let's see what happens. A lot of people think Q1's not going to be bullish at this point, but maybe it is. Maybe that's the big surprise. Maybe there's something coming from the Fed. That they talked about today on the opening ceremonies about how, the world may be a very different place at the end of the Olympics as opposed to where it is beforehand, depending on what happens with, Russia and Ukraine. So I tell you, it was very awkward when Taiwan came out and did their walk, It sounded like they were pumping in like crowd volume to clap, because China and Taiwan have a thing. So they're saying like America's kind of in an awkward situation, always like in the middle of them,
Mm-hmm. They definitely have a thing.
They definitely have a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the details of the geopolitics. I know Taiwan wants to be their own thing, but China says you're my thing. So, okay. All right. So let's talk about NFTs. There's a lot going on with kind of the NFT gaming space right now. We have Immutable X price soars after GameStop partnership. We missed this story yesterday. Or maybe it broke like almost during the show, I think. So yeah. GameStop has a big partnership with Immutable X. Now, Immutable X is down huge today, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because basically it pumped yesterday and then corrected today. So Immutable X is now partnered with GameStop. They're going to be taking a leap forward in gaming and blockchain industry. So speaking of gaming, Nintendo hints it's interested in NFTs and metaverse. And
well, who isn't these days?
Why would they not be? Why would they not be interested? So here it says, we do have interest in this area. We feel the potential in this area, but we wonder what joy we can provide in this area. And this is difficult to define right now, the Japanese video game company reportedly said. Nintendo Switch overtakes PlayStation and Wii in sales. It's pretty interesting.
That makes sense.
I didn't know they were still tracking Wii sales. And that's pretty interesting.
Well, maybe they do better in
the all-time estimated lifetime PS2 is the #1 bestseller.
That's interesting.
PS5 isn't even on the list. It's too new, I guess.
Yeah.
Genesis, Super Nintendo. Wonder where Nintendo is on. Oh, there it is right there. 61.9 million. Wow. So PS2 and PS4, dwarfing everything else. Very interesting.
It is interesting.
So Switch now #3, though. I mean, these are PS4 and Nintendo Switch probably came out about the same time. Probably. Maybe PlayStation was a year. PS4 was a year before, maybe.
Probably.
But I've always been interested to see what Nike is going to, or what Nintendo is going to do with NFTs, because here's the thing: Nintendo is notorious to be the #1 lawsuit happy company in the world.
Yeah.
If you use something that's Nintendo, they will find you and come after you. That's generally the truth.
But the reason for that is they're trying to protect their digital IP. And in the previous world, that was the only way to do it. So I think they could be a big, they could do really well in the NFT space and really move it forward in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think so. But then I saw this story. NFT battles. Nike, here it is. This is something Nintendo will probably start doing. I think that there are a lot of different brands and companies out there that are going to start going after NFTs for using their IP. So just because, somebody basically creates something that's decentralized, that doesn't, it's still against the law to steal somebody's IP. Now, civil law, I don't know if there's a criminal law code for that, but Nike is now taking a seller of unlicensed NFT sneakers to court. We know that Hermes. We know they do the Birkin bag. They went after a metaverse version of the Birkin bag. So we're starting to see this. They've started the licensed, popular sneaker maker Nike has started the licensed NFT wars by taking an online reseller called StockX to court for trademark infringement or sale of unlicensed NFT sneakers. Now, this is definitely an interesting thing we've got to watch. We don't know yet what, laws are going to be surrounding NFTs and metaverse. All this is going to be coming. So, this is definitely an area to watch if you are curious when it comes to, what can you do and what can you not do when it comes to creating art. I think that there's some protections if you're making parody, I think. If you're making, if you're not using the same colors, I think that can play into it as well. But if you're using the image and likeness of characters from another brand or a logo, you can bet your bottom dollar if you make a lot of money off that sale, they're going to come after you. Now, if you sell one NFT for 0.01 BTC or 0.00001 BTC, you're probably going to be fine.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
The amount of money you're making selling their IP is going to be the #1 factor that drives these lawsuits. If like you said, if you're not making any money, they're not really going to care. But if you're making Nike NFT shoes in the metaverse and making a lot of money selling them, they're going to want a piece of that.
Yeah. So here we go, guys. The Super Bowl is now being called Crypto Bowl. And I thought this was really interesting because this is basically coming from the time when they called the Super Bowl the .com Bowl. Like there was one that just kind of got referred to as the .com Bowl. Is that in this article? Yeah. The Crypto Bowl could turn out just like the .com Super Bowl of 2000. This is, who is this that's saying this? This is Antle.
What's the publication? Is the Times again?
This is Fortune.
It's interesting to me how big of a deal they're making out of these ads in the Super Bowl about crypto. Like I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
There's this much media coverage before the Super Bowl about these crypto ads. Seems kind of bizarre.
So this guy, I can't, here it is, marketing professor Antle. I guess he has a first name. The Crypto Bowl could turn out just like .com Super Bowl of 2000, he cautioned. Most .com companies in the 2000 broadcast didn't last until next year. Now, here's a very, very, very important distinction here. Coin number 796, maybe it changed today. It's not having a commercial at the Super Bowl. Okay. Crypto.com is having a commercial.
FTX.
FTX is having commercials. Coinbase will probably have a commercial. Okay. these are not fly-by-night companies, okay?
No.
The internet is still around, is it not? Like, the dot-com bubble didn't mean the internet was a failure. It meant that a lot of people were trying to capitalize on it, and they didn't succeed. I point to all the time, they were just too early. Chewy today, that was pets.com, okay? Webvan, Instacart today, 20 years too early, almost 25 years too early, a lot of these companies. There's a lot of crypto companies that are too early. But the exchanges, they're not too early. They're just on time. One went public on the stock market, okay? A couple others are looking at doing it. So I don't think it's a fair thing to say. But the fact is that a lot of these companies, are going to be doing video or commercials, millions and millions of dollars during the Super Bowl. FTX, Crypto.com. Let's see if it says anybody else in here. I don't see any others. Binance, of course, is doing theirs, where they're throwing Crypto.com under the bus. So pretty interesting. So we'll talk more. We're going to talk about Matt Damon for just like one brief moment again. Comes up in another story.
Okay.
Story. Not getting back on Murray. Didn't y'all go read the comments?
No.
I bet some people did.
I thought you meant the comments of your rant about Matt Damon.
No. I stayed away from that. Oh my gosh. If they're roasting Matt Damon, only Lord knows what they're going to do to me.
It was interesting, though. Somebody said in the chat yesterday that Tom Brady doesn't get the same treatment. He's out there doing ads for, crypto things.
Weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
Well, I'll tell you why. You want to know why? You guys want to know why? I know why. Crypto.com is being targeted.
Yeah. Crypto.com
is being very specifically targeted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's all coming from Binance. I think this Super Bowl ad is their veiled public shot against Crypto.com. And I think, trust me, I know some stuff going on behind the scenes, and I can tell you they are being targeted for 100%. All different areas. All this stuff you're seeing when it comes to negativity about Crypto.com, look, what are they poking a hole in? Where are they poking a hole in? They're poking a hole in the celebrity that they got to do their ad. They're poking holes at, how he comes off and how the commercial comes off. They're not talking about, their volume. They're not talking about how many users are signing up. They can't attack that stuff. It's all rising. So crypto donations jumped nearly 16x in 2021. The average crypto donation side was $10,455, 82 times more than an average $128 donation. 2021 was not just the year of institutional crypto. It also turned out to be the biggest year to date for crypto philanthropy, something that we're focusing on. Isn't that the way it goes? After a good bull run and people are making money, you should be thinking about, how to give back. Because, not everybody was fortunate enough to make the kind of money that a lot of people that watch this channel and a lot of people that have been in crypto for a long time were able to make. You got to make sure you're doing positive stuff with your money. It's not all about me, let me get, yeah, I got a Lambo. Okay. I understand that. I don't spend every single dollar that I have, giving it away, but we give away a lot of money on this channel. Yeah. And we're going to be showing that more and more. We were really proud to announce the other day about our new program. We're going to be giving away one car a month to a person who needs it, a single parent. So if you know a single parent who is in need of a vehicle, reliable transportation, maybe they're having problems getting their kids to daycare, they're having problems getting their kids to school, or they can't get to work because they don't have reliable transportation, we would like to foot that bill for them. And so if you know someone who is in that situation, then what we want you to do is send an email to giving@bitboycrypto.com, giving@bitboycrypto.com. Tell the story. We're going to pick one per month for the foreseeable future, definitely all this year, and who knows beyond that, probably for a while. We want to be able to give back and show you guys some of the impact that crypto has in the philanthropy area. So we're not asking for donations from other people to fund this. We're going to fund all this with our own money because we want to help people 100%. So you guys make sure to do that. We got, I think he said we got about 30 emails, I think, already. It'll auto reply with a form, and you fill out the form. We've only got a few of the forms back. So, you may have a pretty good chance. It says Joe Burrow is the single father of Patrick Mahomes.
That's pretty funny. Got him.
Oh man, God, they are brutal to his wife and his brother. I don't know if y'all have seen that thing.
Mahomes, you mean? Mm-hmm.
They're brutal to his wife. Jackson Mahomes kind of brings it on himself.
Yeah.
I think he's very aware of the way he comes across. I think he's built a brand doing that. I feel sorry for the wife. Like, being a public figure, not to the level of Patrick Mahomes by any stretch of imagination. Not even, we could never achieve that kind of level. But what I will say is, like, imagine somebody attacking your family all the time.
Yeah.
So, I think, unfortunately, they do kind of bring some of that on themselves, like spraying champagne over people in like 0-degree weather, but from their suite. But at the same time, you got to be careful. Don't attack people's families. That's a bad thing to do. But okay. All right. Moving on here. Darklord Bezos. We had some interesting stuff going on in the stock market. We had Facebook, Meta. Sorry, this is just for TJ. Oh, it's TJ's birthday today. I didn't even announce that. I totally forgot to announce it.
That's all right.
Today is TJ's birthday. How old are you?
I am 33 today.
30.
Don't
30. 33.
You got it.
33. I like that. That's a good age.
Yeah. Solid age. Supposedly a lucky year. That's what they say.
Well, I tell you what. I thought 33 was going to be. 33 is my lucky number.
Mm-hmm. Is it? That's my brother's.
You're my lucky little number, TJ.
Hey.
I thought 33 was my lucky number, and I so look forward to my 33rd birthday because my 32nd birthday was going. The year was fantastic. I thought 33 was going to be the greatest year of my life, and it was like one of the worst. So I hope it's better for you than it was for me.
Yeah, me too.
37 and 38 were pretty good years.
So good so far.
Yeah, so good so far. So I got TJ and myself matching paddleboards.
He did.
Matching paddleboards. So he has a lake house now.
Yeah.
So we're going to go paddleboard together.
Yeah, we're going to
go.
I'm
trying to lose weight. I don't want him to see me with my shirt off without having a six-pack.
Right. So we're going to go do some early morning paddleboarding together.
Uh-huh.
And then walk in the woods.
Yeah.
Before we come in and start prepping for the live stream.
Exactly. I think it's going to be every day.
Every day.
Every day. We're going to do that. Sounds fun.
Without fail.
So, TJ, we love you. We appreciate you. And, obviously, we wouldn't be where we're at without you for sure. So, everybody's showing you some love in the chat. So
Thanks.
that is definitely a good thing. So happy birthday.
Appreciate it. Thanks, chat. Thanks, guys. Love you, fam.
So speaking of things you love, Facebook, they lost $237 billion in market value in one day. Wow. It's the largest one-day loss ever in the market.
Wow.
This comes right off the heels of us having one of our biggest arguments ever about Facebook. I'm taking the position, I think Facebook's done. Right. What did that poll result come to?
It was
like 60-40?
Yeah, it was a little like 64.
Yeah.
30.
I was shocked. Shocked it was that strong. Sometimes I am shocked. I generally think that I'm right about most things, and everyone agrees with me.
I do agree they have peaked as a company, but done is a strong stance in my opinion.
All right. Bitcoin price bounces. Speaking of the movement on the stock market, Amazon gained 15% and U.S. tech comeback. Relief for embattled U.S. tech stocks injects fresh energy in Bitcoin and altcoins, with Ethereum reaching 2-week highs. Now, what I really want to talk about is Amazon, because this doesn't really have that much to do with crypto. But this is like the craziest story I've seen in a while. Rotterdam, this is a city in the Netherlands. It may dismantle part of a bridge because Jeff Bezos' super yacht cannot get beneath it. The Dutch city of Rotterdam walked back earlier comments. Now, they received a lot of backlash for doing this. Could you imagine being so powerful in the world that they would deconstruct a bridge for you? You think they would do that for Matt Damon?
Not a chance.
So. Not a chance. Not even Matt Damon. Not even Will Hunting himself. Have you ever seen Good Will Hunting?
I have. It's a good movie.
Have not.
You haven't?
No, I haven't seen it.
You probably like it.
Yeah. Rounders. That's a good one with Matt Damon for sure. The Dutch city of Rotterdam on Thursday walked back comments about dismantling a bridge. City officials had told the news media that Rotterdam had agreed to briefly dismantle the middle section of the 95-year-old bridge for the yacht's passage. I mean, I just can't believe someone.
That's history.
Yeah, no one's ever done this before. Like, who's had enough money? I mean, I don't know, if you were Genghis Khan back in the day, you could probably walk in a place and say, tear down that building and they'd do it. But for a yacht, like, can you not just go around the other way? Like, is it that important that you go that one specific direction? And look, this is the biggest company in the world, Amazon is, right? It's bigger than Apple now, I believe.
Probably. They go back and
It's very close.
Yeah.
I mean, where's your planning, Jeff? Where's your ability to plan ahead? how do you not know that you're going to be taken to super yacht somewhere you can't go underneath a bridge? Maybe map it out.
Oh wow, Amazon's number 5 on this list.
Is it really?
Yeah, behind Apple, Microsoft, Google,
Makes
Saudi Armco, and then Amazon. So it's
Wow.
almost
How is it not number 1?
Apple's almost twice as big. Yeah. So I'm
It
looking
still blows my
Amazon
mind.
approximately 1.6 trillion, Apple approximately 2.9.
Oh, they say it's coming from a factory. That's what it is. They made it in a factory over there.
Got it.
It makes more sense now. Yeah. He's not demanding they do this, but not getting into that. But yeah, so very interesting stuff. Now, speaking of overlords, I should have probably brought this up when we were talking about crypto.com earlier. I saw someone say something about this in the chat yesterday. South Park has now mocked Matt Damon's crypto ad.
That's fascinating.
That was fast. And they make a joke. I don't know if it's in here, but they made a joke about, they said, by the time somebody watches this story probably won't even be relevant anymore. Because they probably made it like 2 weeks ago. So it's the first episode of the animated 25th season. They are making fun of the fortune favors the brave. Let's see. Cartman says, what does Matt Damon say? I can't actually do an impression. I must stop. That was really bad. What does Matt Damon say in the Bitcoin commercials? Fortune favors the brave. Clyde then responds with, my dad said he listened to Matt Damon and lost all his money. Cartman counters, yes, everyone did, but they were brave in doing so.
Pretty funny.
I mean, South Park is usually, they're really my favorite political commentators. They're more than commentators. They're rare taters. But what I would tell you is that it, to me, is very sad that this groundswell of hatred for crypto.com has came from a place of targeting. And now it's hit the level to where South Park is making fun of it. I think this is a bad move for South Park. I think actually the reality is this one won't age very well for them. I don't think this will age very well. I mean, especially if we get another run this year. I mean, guys, Bitcoin is the greatest appreciating asset in human history. Comprehend that, okay? Crypto, it still pumps, still volatile, still goes up. Almost everything made new all-time highs last year. Almost everything. Almost all the major coins did. Not all the coins that were, doing well back then or even around now, okay? But the point is, all the ones that are still viable, they approached all-time highs. They may still beat all-time highs, or they achieve them, by a long shot. So I do think this is a bad move for them. I don't like where this is with this, but, once again, powerful people, they think you're stupid. Remember that. Powerful people think you're stupid. And unfortunately, while usually they're pretty dead on with what they do, this is now trickled over to South Park to where now they're actually helping people to tell you that you're stupid. All right, so let's talk about the digital yuan here as we transition. At Winter Olympics, Beijing tries to sell world on digital yuan. The ECNY, which is the digital yuan, is one of 3 forms of payment available to foreign athletes and visitors at the Winter Games. In December 2020, Shen Su, retired pair skater from China and 2010 Olympic champion, appeared on Chinese television as the first person to use the country's official digital currency to buy a Beijing subway pass. With a swipe on the turnstile using ski gloves fitted with the latest digital yuan wallet, Shen marked the launch of China's campaign to promote its CBDC overseas during the 2022 Winter Olympics. Now let's find out how this is going. The Beijing Olympics, which, by the way, Beijing's the first city to host both the summer and the Winter Olympics. China's not the first country. Are you listening to me, hon? She's back there. It's the first city, Beijing's first city. We had an argument about that. Not an argument. She brought it. She said, I think it's the first country to do both, but it is the first city, because what kind of city do you have to be able to do both? Not a lot of places in the world match that. So I didn't think that was interesting. But it will, the launch won't be splashy. China was hoping the Winter Olympics would be a watershed moment for the digital yuan, providing a global stage on which to parade its prowess in financial innovation Instead, geopolitical tensions, the pandemic, and China's insistence on stamping out every trace of are spoiling the party, dealing a blow to one of the most ambitious digital currency projects on the planet. China's already on the verge of becoming a cashless society. Let's see what they're doing here. The timeline for the nationwide launch is yet to be decided. Beijing almost certainly intended the Olympic Games to be an important milestone on the road to widespread usage. Been pressuring businesses like McDonald's and Nike to allow customers to use the digital yuan during the games. It's only one of 3 payment choices foreign athletes and others have at sporting venues in the Olympic Village. Definitely not Bitcoin, cash, and Visa payments. I'm telling you, China's got to be livid right now. The Bitcoin's above $40,000. Yeah. On the this is their day. This is China's day. This is digital yuan day. Bitcoin's stealing the shine. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a little karma for y'all treating Bitcoin like you do. As the event approaches, those efforts may land with a thud. Beijing is barring most fans from attending the games and has constructed an elaborate quarantine bubble to separate Olympians, officials, journalists, and support staff, which I hear they're already removing journalists from certain countries, from the rest of the city as fears of an outbreak comes up. So basically, long and short of it, they had had this plan in place for a couple of years. And ironically, maybe you don't believe ironically, but ironically, a thing that started over there a couple of years ago is putting a damper on their big launch of this. Something pretty fascinating to think about, unintended consequences maybe. But it's a big flop. So far, there just aren't enough people over there really using it. So we've got an Olympian here. We have an Olympian, Steve Garbett, and I'm going to bring him on. Right before I do, though, you guys make sure to check out his socials. We're going to be putting the computer down here. This is NFTSI. This is the Sports Initiative. We're an advisor for this project, unpaid advisor. We love what this place is doing. It's a Discord server. TJ will put the Discord server link down below in the chat. It's helping to fund athletes. It's helping athletes to bear that burden of training so hard without getting a lot of income. So it's a very cool project. Oh, I forgot to show that tweet. And let's see, the Sports Initiative on Twitter. You guys have a Twitter, right? Steve? NFTTSI. NFTTSI. There it is. Okay. Well, I need to follow it too. There you go. So you guys can check them out at NFTTSI. So I wanted to show you guys all that. We'll put the Discord. There it is. He just pinned it in the chat. So let me drop this computer and Steven, come on. All right. Always good to have guests in the studio.
And if you could, Steve, pull that mic past you a little bit. There you go. And then up, you're good.
But about this far away is probably good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
What do you think of our new studio?
This new studio is amazing you guys got here. What you guys are building here is a playground for anybody in the social space. Yeah. So if you guys are into digital marketing, you got to come check out this new facility here. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you, man. We appreciate it. We can't wait to show everybody, down the road what we're doing here. But Steve, let's talk about this. Opening ceremonies occurred this morning. It's the evening time over there in Beijing. Now you're plugged in with a lot of Olympic athletes. I guess first, let's talk about your experience in the Olympics.
Yeah, so actually I did not make the Olympics. I'm a Team USA national team athlete. For the last 8 years, I've been on the highest level with Team USA, and I've been lucky to be able to perform at a high level for a long time. I do the sport of skeleton. For those of you who don't know what skeleton is, we go head first down the bobsled track. We get speeds up to 90 miles an hour and G-force all up to 5.5, 6 Gs, all with your chin just an inch off the ice. So it's exciting. We're actually going to get Ben, and we're going to get these guys down the bobsled track on a skeleton sled and in a bobsled. But we got to wear the BitBoy costume in order to do it.
Well, I mean, it might fit there, actually. That might be a good place to wear it. So let's talk a little bit about, like I said, you're plugged in with all kinds of Olympic athletes. What is the general sentiment of United States Olympic athletes going over to Beijing, which is kind of like our biggest rival in the world right now, and, great philosophical disagreements on how we all do things?
Yeah, there's a lot of sentiment both ways, pros and cons, and some of the athletes were very nervous with going over there, and some of them are very excited. Everybody's excited to compete because they've been training for so long in their sports to be able to represent their country, and they're very proud to be able to do that. But there is sentiment both ways.
Yeah, very interesting. If you could point that to you, probably.
There we go.
People when they come on the show, they tend to move away from the mic as they talk. So we definitely want the people to hear everything you're saying. So somebody said, do not get on the sled, Ben. I'm not scared to get on the sled. I don't ever want to snowboard. I did that one time. I don't like, it's like a skateboard, but you can't move your feet off of it.
Well,
I used to skateboard when I was younger.
Let me ask you this, Steve. How did you get into skeleton?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, TJ. I didn't know about the sport of skeleton until 2010, and I went back to visit my grandma. She was sick in the hospital, and all of a sudden, I got sick. My body started shutting down, and doctors couldn't figure out what was going on with me. And I was in there for about 3.5 weeks, and during that time, I told myself if I got healthy, I want to do two things. First, no one in my family ever graduated college. I want to be the first to do that. Second, I wanted to try skeleton. I was like, that looks awesome. I saw it for the first time on the Olympics. I was like, that looks amazing. And during that trip, I realized something. Life is very precious, and we don't know how much time we truly have. So we want to make sure we set high goals and go for them, and don't let anybody else stop you or tell you that it's not possible. So that's the way I live my life. I surround myself with positive people, and I raise all of us to the top, and I set those goals that other people think are unrealistic. If I would have told a lot of people that I told that I was going to do what I did with Team USA, said it was impossible. They said you couldn't do it. But I surrounded myself with the right people, and I worked hard, and I was able to do some amazing stuff with Team USA.
Yeah, and I think that really is a good transition to talk about what you're doing with the Sports Initiative, because one of those things that holds people back and keeps people from like going all in on being Olympic athletes. I mean, number one is could be athleticism. That could be a problem for people. I don't see myself being an Olympic athlete. So unless, I don't know, they could bring, I don't know, maybe pickleball, but it's all people that are 80 and up and then me. I may have a chance, maybe. But the fact is, so many people get started in that track. They do track and field in college or whatever, and they think they want to be an Olympic athlete. But what are the challenges of being an Olympic athlete when it comes to, balancing training and making an income for yourself?
Yeah, that's the huge problem with Olympic athletes, and that's what I've realized over the last 8 years competing at the highest level. I noticed one of the biggest hurdles was athletes funding and being able to support themselves. So I've wanted to come up with a solution to help fund and support these athletes. And with the technology that NFTs provide us, it's an amazing technology that will be able to set up a NFT sale to be able to fund and support the next generation of athletes. So that's what TSI is. TSI is the Sports Initiative, and it's designed to help fund and support the next generation of athletes powered by this generation's top professional athletes. Right now, we have Olympic medalists from all different sports on our board. We have NFL Super Bowl champions, NHL Stanley Cup champions, all supporting this project. You and your wife, huge sports fans, absolutely diehard Olympic fan with Bethany. Like she loves the Olympics. It's just
She's
awesome.
legit. She's a super fan.
Yeah, she put me. There's some questions she asked me, and I was like, "Oh, I actually don't even know that. I need to study a little bit more history." So she definitely knows her thing. So we're excited for the people that we have on the project to support, and really the main part of this project is to help fund and support the next generation of athletes. And we're doing some really cool stuff, providing some unique utility for our holders themselves.
Yeah.
So we actually are going to be doing a lot of one-of-a-kind unique experiences that you can't just go out and buy. So we're able to provide a one-of-a-kind experience, snowboarding with a Paralympic snowboarder on the mountain. We're doing
I'm out on that. I'm out.
Obviously, you're out on that one, but we're going to get you doing the skeleton.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we also have some really cool things. So we're setting it up where the funds from this drop. So 70% of the funds are going to go into a crypto interest earning account. And those funds we're going to then use to support the athletes. So that way it's going to be a capital reserve that will be able to continue to help athletes year after year. So we want to make sure that this is something that's not just a one-time thing. We want to plan to build and continue to grow. And that's the way that we're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And we're actually partnered with a team of yours that you guys use for Pluto Alliance, which shout out to Pluto Alliance, really, really cool.
Yeah, we do own
that. Galaxis, formerly known as Ether Cards,
Yeah.
they are building our back end, and they're our developers. And those guys taught us some really cool tech that we're able to do. So our NFTs are actually going to be able to change over time. So when we launch our NFTs, you're going to have a static image. And then as we start funding and supporting athletes over time, the backgrounds are going to change and the superpowers are going to come out. So really, really cool stuff that we're designing with that no one else is doing within the space. Really, really exciting.
I love that. Love that. So let's lastly, if anybody's got any questions, you guys can do. We're going to do a Q&A for Steve. So if you got any questions you want to know about, what's going on with Sports Initiative and Team USA, the whole 9 yards, certainly ask. But what is the importance? Can you explain like the role the Discord server plays and why you would want people to join the Discord server?
Yeah, the Discord is very important because that's where we keep our community up to date and we make sure that they know everything that's going on. Also, our plan is to become the best sports community on the blockchain. We want to make sure that we're going to have fantasy leagues, all kinds of stuff that we're building into, and the Discord is where you can do that. So if you go join the link, which we'll have below, go join it and support us and follow, because that's where you're going to be able to find the most up-to-date information and also all the cool stuff that we're going to be building as we go forward with this project.
Yeah. Free to join?
Free to join.
Free to join.
Free to join. But I do have a question with you really quick before we jump
Okay.
away. What's your favorite Winter Olympic sport? This is a loaded question. You are with a skeleton athlete, so just...
I would probably say, well, the quirkiest one I think is where they cross-country ski and shoot, right?
Yeah, that is
That's the quirkiest one for sure. That's an interesting one. I guess say curling, right? Yeah, curling.
Curling?
Now, my wife has found a place in Nashville, right? Honey, is it Nashville? Nashville that has curling.
Huh.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really expect that in the South.
No, of course not. So, have you ever been curling?
I have been curling. So we were actually at a competition in the Alps in St. Moritz, Switzerland, and the competition was delayed. So all the bobsled and skeleton athletes, we went out to the ice rink out there, and we did curling for the first time, and it was amazing. It was a lot of fun, but it was also fun to try to see some of these big bobsledders doing curling. It was actually very entertaining.
It cracks me up. They're down there with the little broom. I mean, only Canadians would create this sport, right? I mean, Canadians created curling, right? Had to have. I think so.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We got some Q&A questions here. This is from Pun Any Vamper, one of our favorite chatters. What's your experience in sports training virtual reality? You think Olympic sports training will be incorporated in the metaverse?
That's actually an excellent question, and virtual reality is very, very important, especially with winter sports like my like skeleton. We can't get on the ice year round, so we have to be able to come up with solutions to be able to train, and we're using VR right now currently to be able to train the brain, and that's a big important factor is brain training. A lot of people think of sports and athletes, and once you're at the highest level, everybody's a physical athlete. They're amazing. The importance at the next level is the brain and how much you can train it. So by utilizing the VR technology, which we'll also be able to incorporate in the metaverse, is going to be some amazing stuff that's going to be able to advance sports. So really, really good question. And yeah, that's exactly where I see it going.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. I mean, you got to know, right? The highest training in the world. I mean, it's definitely, it's got to be using the latest technology. It's really interesting what you said about the brain because when you get to a certain level, I mean, the differences are negligible. It's really, the mindset you can put yourself in when everybody's kind of at the same level. So now you do have, LeBron's at a different level. You definitely have some people out there that, are physical specimens that you can't compete with. But the Scots created curling?
There you go. Now we know.
Wow. Well, I'm going to roll that transaction back. Okay, I'm just going to say Canadians created. I think it's a more fun story. Sorry, Scots. Let's talk about this. This is interesting. Now, I would have never thought, let's say 20 years ago when I was playing Tony Hawk, 2, crushing it, one of the greatest Tony Hawk 2 players in the history of the world. I never thought that skateboarding would be in the Olympics, and yet we've seen now skateboarding in the Olympics. When do you think, or do you even think it's possible, esports are going to be in the Olympics?
I definitely think it's going to be possible.
Wow, okay.
I do, and I think it's going to be sooner than people actually think. The skill set that is involved with esports is on the same level. It's a different type of skill sets, but the reaction time with the brain and the training that goes into it is amazing with what they're doing in esports, and I could see it very soon.
Yeah, Winter and Summer Olympics probably?
I would see it in both. Actually, I probably see them more specializing it in the summer because the audience is a little bit bigger.
Yeah, interesting.
That's why I would say that it would go there, but they might set it up in a way where it's both.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what's really fascinating is obviously people don't look at people that play video games and say they're athletes. Say generally, stock car or NASCAR drivers, same thing. You don't, even though they're usually in pretty good shape, you don't look at them and say, oh, what an incredible athlete, but yet they're doing something that takes incredible eye-hand coordination, incredible vision, thinking ahead, a lot of the same things that make athletes great. And, there's a very interesting thing when it comes to age in video games. Experience doesn't always make you the best. There is a role that dexterity and athleticism in your hands actually plays into being the top. That's why, I don't know, do you know at what age they say video gamers peak, TJ?
It depends on the game.
Like,
I mean,
Probably late teenagers.
yeah, usually
Yeah.
teens.
That's that reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, I don't know. So for you guys that are sitting at home playing Xbox, got some Cheetos on top of you, you're athletes in my book. You're athletes in my Oh, well, Steve, you got anything else?
Yeah, I did have a question for the
Sure.
audience.
Okay.
What sport at this Winter Olympics are you guys most favorite to watch? Like, what are you guys excited to see? I know there's a lot
Yeah.
coming up. So what is everybody excited to see? Also, TJ, I wanted to ask you that as well.
Yeah, I like a lot of different sports. Half pipe. I'm a snowboarder, so watching the half pipe stuff's always fun. I grew up playing hockey, so every once in a while I watch some hockey games, some of that. But it's funny. We always go snowboarding, and around the time we're snowboarding, there always seems to be curling on TV late at night, and we get surprisingly very into curling also. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite. I like a lot of different winter sports. So if I had to, I'm terrible at locking in favorites. If I had to pick a favorite, I'd say the one I watch the most is probably the Super Pipe.
Exciting. You guys both failed. It was supposed to be skeleton. It was a trick question.
Dang it.
Question there, but
Whatever Matt Damon plays.
Oh,
That's one of the
gosh.
comments there. Hockey, you can't forget about hockey, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
hockey.
Well, but we're not doing NHL athletes in the Olympics this year. Is that correct?
No, they're not doing them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are there any sports that are out this year in the Winter Olympics that they phased out? Like in the Summer Olympics, they didn't have baseball for like 1 or 2 Olympics. They vote every, I guess, 4 years on what sports make it in and make it out. Do you know, were there any changes to these ones?
There wasn't any changes to these ones, but they
Interesting.
do phase them in and out, and also the country that's hosting can also recommend adding, and that's how baseball was added in with Tokyo.
Yeah.
So the host country does have say in that, and then it also goes to a voting process.
What about this? What about speed runs? Timed speed runs on running from a closed indoor area to a jacuzzi and back.
What?
Yeah, where you basically you get down to your swimsuit, you run it in the cold, you jump in the jacuzzi, and you try to run back speed runs.
I think they do
that a good one?
They do that in certain countries.
I think that's what you do on the ski slopes. I think when you're
Yeah.
snowboarding and you've had a couple, and that's the time to do that.
Yeah, last run of the day, you do it naked on the snowboard and head for the hot tub.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's getting hot in here, TJ.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, Steve, thanks so much for coming on. You guys don't forget, go check out the Discord server. It is in the live chat. We'll also put it in the description when the regular video posts. Appreciate you coming on. Definitely coming to the studio. We love that we have a place people can come to now. Very exciting. And we'll be watching the Olympics and pulling for Team USA.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I have one last shout out that I got to give. So
Sure thing.
With our NFT, we're sharing our ultra rare one at the Olympics. You're gonna have to pay attention to see it. So one of the skeleton athletes, Kelly Curtis, she's going to be wearing it on her helmet. We're going to reveal our ultra rare NFT for the Sports Initiative at the Olympics. We're also going to be doing athlete AMAs with athletes in the Olympic Village the next few weeks. So join the Discord so that way if you ever wanted to ask an Olympic athlete questions, you have access to be able to do that while they're at the Olympics, but you can only do it through the Sports Initiative. So we appreciate you coming out. Go follow us, go support us, and go Team USA.
Yeah, go Team USA. We love the fact that we can play roles and take part in helping fund people to be able to live their dreams. And I think this is a really exciting initiative. So gonna keep watching it, monitor it, and everybody else, drop your chats down below. Let us know what you think about this. Are you excited? Tell us what your favorite sports are in the Winter Olympics. Go Team USA. Tell us what country you love. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good way out.